It's shaping up to be a very busy year for Ghost in 2025, with the band earlier today just announcing a massive world tour that has me wondering if some new music could also be on the horizon. Now, I've always been such a fan of Ghost since their early days, and the storytelling, the anonymity from the band in the early era as well was so cool. And the theatrics in their live shows are incredible, and I've just loved their music, and it's been a while since we've gotten some new music from the band, so I'm very excited about that. But when I looked at this tour announcement and I zeroed in on the fine print, of course you got to read the fine print, I was amazed to see that it says that these shows are phone-free events, and if you buy tickets and go to see Ghost perform, your phone will be locked up in a pouch and you will not be able to access it, I'm guessing, unless you walk off of the concert floor and miss the show to look at that. And so this is certainly something that's going to be polarizing for fans. And I'm going to try to talk about both sides of this issue, but I do not like this personally. When I look at the amount that people are paying for concerts, and I think it kind of infantizes the audience when you treat them like little children and go, give me your phone and put it in the bag. And it's like self-defeat. I got my phone in the yonder pouch. I paid $120 to be here. It's like, it's kind of you're treating your fans like they're dummies. And I don't really like it. And I haven't seen a band of the size of Ghost go to this level at this point. And it to me, for all of the criticisms that one can have about people filming and obstructing your views at live shows, I also think that this is inherently worse for a number of reasons. Number one, if you pay for a concert and you go to the show, outside of disturbing the show for other people, you should be able to enjoy the show how you want. Now, I share your frustrations at home with the person who's just filming the whole show, blocking everybody's views. And that doesn't really happen much for me at shows. As someone goes to shows all the time, typically it's just somebody pulling the phone out, taking a quick video. Now, a lot of people would also say, what are you taking the video for? You're not going to watch it later anyways. Well, I do. And I also go back and watch videos I didn't even take at shows that I went to, and one example would be seeing Limp Bizkit at the Norva. I didn't have video from that show. So there's this video on YouTube that shows Limp Bizkit in this intimate venue, just blowing the roof off of the place. It was a legendary show, and the video of it has like over 1 million views. So a lot of fans also wanted to see that unique performance. But I know there are many of you as well who just cannot stand the phones at shows and they feel like it ruins your experience. And I'm sympathetic to that as well. And I obviously understand where you're coming from with that too. I just think when you're locking someone's phones up, there are many different legitimate reasons that someone might want to have their phone accessible to them immediately that are not just rooted in somebody just trying to film a concert. One example would be parents who have babysitters that go to the show and might need to get instant information about their kids. Another one would be people who have loved ones and their parents or close family members maybe having medical troubles, etc. I also think there are, when you go to shows, you notice up on the screen, they go, see something, say something. Safety is a concern at concerts. Unless your phone is locked up in a yonder pouch, how are you going to contact anybody? You're not. You're just going to have to hope that some security is nearby. So it certainly diminishes, I think, people's ability to get in contact with venue staff, et cetera, et cetera. So can Ghost do this? Yes, they can. They have every right to do it. Do I think that it's not a good decision for them to do this? I do. I don't like it. I don't like that they're doing this. I certainly respect their ability to do what they want, and I have a lot of respect for Ghost. And I think I understand probably why they're doing it. I think that from their standpoint, they want this to be as in the moment as possible. But for me, very few bands am I going to pay the type of money that is understandably being charged for shows these days, where the economy is in the current state that it's in and travel costs are expensive, et cetera. The amount of money that you got to pay to go to an average show is through the roof. And so you're a hardworking person and then you get treated like a baby going into a show and they put your phone in a yonder pouch, which, by the way, not that hard to get your phone out of it. I get it and I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think the solution is treating your customers and concert goers like they're in detention. I'm pro autonomy. Let the fans do what they want. If you have a phone, look at your phone. And this is like we're locking everybody's phones up who paid money. And I just don't think that's an enjoyable experience for me. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, what your thoughts are on this. I know that there are a lot of opinions. You know, by comparison, they make Tool look like they're the most pro phone band on the planet. This is a pretty, very, very strict measure here from Ghost. And we've seen them in the past do this when they were making their concert film, but now it's clear that they are the biggest band I have seen yet doing this, where they're locking your phones up. And I'm curious, will this affect your interest in going to see shows? Is this going to deter you from going to see this band on their tour? For me, it does. And so I'm not doing the, lock your phone up. No thanks. And I also am very sympathetic to those of you who don't want to see somebody just, blocking your view all night doing that. So we'll see. This is kind of where we are though now, and we'll see how it pans out with that policy and what people are, if you don't like this policy, now's the time to make yourself be heard. Because I imagine if there's a lot of people not buying concert tickets, that's going to go away real fast. But at the end of the day, it's their event. I respect their right to be able to do this, and I respect the band. I love Ghost. I think they're a great band, and I think they're going to treat this more like it's Broadway or something, And so they're very theatrical, and so we'll have to see how it all shakes out. Very interesting approach to technology that has now been widely available for a decade, and we'll have to see how the concert entry process is when you've got an entire arena of people putting in their phones. It is done in comedy. So we'll have to see, my friends, but let me know what you think in the comments. That's your latest update here from Rockfeed. Be sure to subscribe and notifications on for the latest news and updates.